Hello everyone, I'm Elena Miller, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to introduce our guest speaker, my dad. He served as a staff sergeant in the Army. More specifically, he was a Green Beret in the Special Forces. He served in Somalia and Afghanistan fighting for our freedom. Thank you, Dad, for risking your life so that we can live in a free nation today. You truly are my hero. Now please welcome to the stage Staff Sergeant Jimmy Miller.
Thank you for allowing me to represent the millions of veterans and speak in honor of them. This responsibility I do not take lightly. I have been privileged to be and serve with some of the best, those in the Army Special Forces, the Green Berets, and I stand humbly before you now. My commitment today to all the veterans, past and present, I will do my best to call this generation of young adults in this room to pick up where you left off, calling them to do something greater than themselves, to serve, help preserve the country, imperfections and all, the very thing you sacrificed for. To the students, my hope is in the end that you will have the sense of gratitude, humbleness, and determination to stand up for what you believe is right, even if you're the only one. This, among other traits, have helped guide America to be great. You'll soon be adults, and it will be your privilege to carry this great responsibility of service. It will be up to you to do this using your 5 guiding principles: respect, responsibility, honesty, compassion, and hard work. I'd like to share with you today a few special moments where men stood up, took action that shaped America and the lives of others. I'll show you a few video clips, then we'll discuss you and your future. What will you do? Will you squander and waste it? Will you stand up and fulfill a greater destiny? Will you shoulder your share of responsibility? Will you help your fellow man in the time of need when they call for help? Will you stand up with the great men and women of the past and present and help shape and guide the country to its next chapter? Let's take a look at one video where we started, and then it will roll into a more present-day video of somebody that did stand up. And they earned the Medal of Honor. Matter of fact, 2 people earned the Medal of Honor for this particular incident, but we'll display one at this point.
The British liberties are not the grants of princes or parliaments. Many of our rights are inherent and essential, agreed on as maxims and established as preliminaries even before Parliament existed. We have a right to them, derived from our Maker. Our forefathers have earned and bought liberty for us at the expense of their ease, their pleasures, and their blood. Liberty is not built on the doctrine that a few nobles have a right to inherit the earth. No! No! It stands on this principle that the meanest and lowest of the people are, by the unalterable, indefeasible laws of God and nature, as well entitled to the benefit of the air to breathe, light to see, food to eat, and clothes to wear as the nobles or the king. That is liberty. And liberty will reign in America.
Into the hell of war and the soul of Captain William Swenson, a soldier who refused to leave anyone behind and spoke up to senior commanders when it all went wrong.
And what happened that day was a result of clouded judgment. It was a result of clouded judgment on behalf of people who did later receive letters of reprimand.
In this valley 4 years ago, Swenson and his men were ambushed in one of the most brutal firefights of the Afghan war. Swenson said his men did not get urgently needed air support, a claim validated by the Army. Then his nomination file was said to be lost. Now he is finally receiving the Medal of Honor, the nation's highest combat award. It was early morning when the column of more than 100 U.S. and Afghan troops started up the valley's narrow path. Enemy fire opened up from 3 sides.
They're now outnumbered, outgunned, and we have taken casualties.
Sergeant First Class Kenneth Westbrook is shot in the throat and laying out in the open.
He called out to me and said, "I'm hit." And he wasn't panicked. There was no indication of pain. I called out to him, "All right, hold on, I can't get to you. I'm pinned down, keep fighting."
Swenson runs across open ground, dodging enemy fire to get him. Sergeant Kevin Durst was crew chief of the medevac helo coming to get the wounded. A helmet-mounted camera captures Swenson flashing an orange panel so the helicopter can find him, but it makes him an enemy target.
He was completely under control of the whole situation. He knew exactly what had to be done and when.
Swenson and a medic help Westbrook to the helo, and then a moment amid the mayhem. Watch as Swenson gently kisses Westbrook goodbye. Swenson has no memory of it.
I was just trying to keep his spirits up. I wanted him to know that it was going to be okay. And I wanted him to know that he had done his job. But it was time for him to go.
Swenson, determined to get everyone out, went back into the battle with others still under fire to find and bring out the bodies of dead American and Afghan fighters. Sergeant Westbrook died a few weeks later. Barbara Starr, CNN, The Pentagon.
What's interesting about this story is you can see young men and women can do amazing things under extraordinary pressure. But what I want you to take away is William Swenson, when push came to shove, gave all he could on the battlefield and stood up for what was right, even though the command was wrong. There are many things in this video that you didn't see. Really, the citation itself for him and a Marine, Dakota Meyer. I encourage you to watch those. But what I want you to take out of this is character is built over time, and it will stay with you no matter where you are in life. So give everything you do, everything you have, and it will serve you in the future. The other thing I'd like to tell you is I was actually there that day, not in the firefight, but on a base not far north from Ganjgal Valley, only 12 miles, in a camp right in Saddleback. Our Special Forces team was called sometime that morning, and I believe the battle had been going on for 2 to 3 hours at that time. We were called and told to get loaded up and go to Forward Operation Base Joycey, Chosen's headquarters, where the unit was based that was out there being fought. We were obviously well armed, trained, and could have sent us right in, but their leadership still didn't send us in. They said they had no communication with the unit and wouldn't let us until they could figure out what was going on. But by then, the Americans had died and the Afghans had died. When we finally allowed to go in, we had about 90 Afghan commandos and another Special Forces team join us. Swenson and Dakota Myers, the other Medal of Honor winner, and the others had already made it back to the base. We were told to search the entire village for the men responsible for killing our guys earlier. We came in by helicopter and Humvee, and as we approached the village, we could see a lot of people going up into the mountains. They knew what was going to happen. But when we came in, we received very little fire, maybe a few pop shots here and there. We removed all the fighting-age males and placed them in the local Afghan custody for questioning. There eventually was an investigation of the events as you saw, and several of the chosen commanders were found negligent and got into trouble. Even the leadership in this case was too afraid to do what was right because they were afraid of doing the wrong thing, accidentally killing Afghan civilians by bombing the village, which in the end caused men to die. Instead, a few men on the ground did all they could under extreme pressure. They tried to protect their friends. Swenson and Dakota and the men around them could have stayed in relatively safety out of harm's way, but they chose to put their life in further danger despite higher command's direction to stay put. Sometimes you have to step up, step out, and do what's right, even if you're the only one doing it. This country's history is full of people stepping up for what they believe is right. You may be thinking to yourself, well, I don't have to worry about that. I'm not going in the military. And that's okay. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't mean you still can't step up and stand up for what's right wherever you are. I want you to think about this. What if in front of you, you saw your mother or father or brother or sister crying out for help as they were getting attacked? What would you do? Would you sit back and watch them get hurt, or would you try to help? I believe you would stand up and do what you could to help. You know, there are many examples of types of calls for help. You just need to listen and respond. There are many kids and friends, families, brothers, sisters, even strangers that are calling for help right now. It may not be because they're being shot at, but to them, whatever they're going through is just as important right now. It may be that they're feeling hurt, bullied, lonely, suicidal, lost, uninvolved, unwanted, rejected, ugly, sad, stupid, hungry, all types of other physical and emotional stresses. You have within your power, when no one else is listening, to stand up. Don't just sit there and watch them die inside. Reach out, give them a hand. Let them know that somebody's caring, that you'll be there for them, even though no one else is coming. Don't wait for someone else to do it. It may be too late, and others may not be listening. Or maybe you're the one calling for help. Hang on. Hang on. One of your friends and classmates will be there to answer your call. Just hang on a little longer. If I could have the veterans in the room, please stand up just for a moment. All the veterans, please stand up. Students, take a look around you. These men and women standing, you see, we are here because of them. Because of veterans like them, their sacrifice, their love, their dedication, hardships they endured for you, for me, their friends, family, in this great country. Let us together show them how grateful we are for all they have sacrificed for us by answering the call and standing up for what's right, even if you're the only one. Veterans, please sit. My fellow veterans, let us witness this generation presented by this students sitting in this room as young adults with their let us witness their commitment to stand up and be accountable for their actions as young adults. With their responsibilities in school to learn the best they can so the United States can continue to be competitive in the world. Their commitment to sacrifice, to do the right thing, to help friends or strangers, and for some, even answer the call in military service to protect us as we have protected them. Students, don't let us down, or yourself. We are counting on you when the time comes and you hear the call. Remember, sometimes you have to stand up.
Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war. But there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? When Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better red than dead, or as one commentator put it, live on his knees and die at his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shockers around the world? The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay, there is a point beyond which they must not advance. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material competitions. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn their spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
In a moment, I want you to repeat the words after when he asks, "Who am I?" And you are the champion. And think of the large and small battles that you have to fight in life right now, because you are a champion. And you can overcome any obstacle you have. You just need to believe in yourself.
Who am I?
I am a champion.
I will conquer what is not conquered. You do not hear my plea. I will be with others to doubt. I will always exemplify my respect for my team. I have trained my mind and my body to fall. Who am I? I am a champion. I will not. That is my choice. Do not expect me to win. I will never surrender. Weakness will not be in my heart. I will go to my front man and it's over the world and over the training. And I will draw strength from that. Who am I? I am a champion. I will crash so off the field of battle. And I will move everything I can do. And I will beat my field of battle at anything that might fall. And when I get there, I will fight violently. I will rip the heart from my enemies and be a clean on the ground. Because he cannot stop me. Who am I? I am a champion. To my side, I have conquered. Conquered that people who took his dead. Who sacrificed his life and what he did. Never will I let them fall. Never will I let them down. And I will never leave them behind. Because my opponent does not know my heart. Who am I? I am a champion. No one will deny me. No one will find me. And no one will tell me who and what I am. Champion. Believe me, change my world. It is through time, it is through sight, it is through me on the moon. And it will carry you through this battle. Who am I? I am a champion. Defeat, retreat, those are not in my word. I don't understand those definitions. I don't understand when things go wrong. I don't understand mistakes. Like you understand this. I understand victory, and I understand never surrendering. No matter how bad things go, my heart, my mind will carry my body through to me. Who am I? I am a champion. So take me that day. Not to what I'm not never do, but right now, right here, in your house, in your home. Who am I? I am a champion. And you will remember me.
Stand up. Stand up now if you're committed to do the best and strive to make your home and this country a better place. Honor the sacrifice of the veterans by standing up and taking responsibility for yourself. Let everyone know that you'll do the right thing and stand up even if you're the only one. You'll be there for your friends, your family, and your country if they call. May God bless you, all the veterans, and may God bless America.